This is the ABN inner tie rod removal tool. We're going to check it out. This is a tested tool review. Of course, this is the ABN Auto Body Now, I guess, inner tie rod removal tool made of high-grade Chinesium. This is an Amazon tool. I think they're around 60 bucks. I bought it to do some inner tie rods on a car that I'm working on. It's a 2005 Chevrolet Malibu. The tie rod was broken. And it takes this 1 7/16 piece here. Here's one of the tie rods, and it fits. It fits pretty nice. Remember, your tool's coming in from that direction, so when you push this tool in, you're pushing. You're going to have to put your hand behind it because you're pushing against this horseshoe, and it'll fall off. And that's the problem I was having. I fought it, and I couldn't get something about these ears. Let me get a different position here. You've got this tool, and it has this little sliding ring on it, and it has these tabs. When you spin these tabs, it'll help you. Of course, they won't spin. It'll help you lock it's supposed to spin around and lock your tool into these grooves. Lock this crow's foot. And even with it not on the car, you can see that this tab sticks in. This tab is dead even. So right off the bat, this is too long on one side. I tried bending it out of the way. I tried forcing this in. And it's hard to get in there, but eventually you can get it to go. But there's no way you can wiggle it around like that on the car. And that's just one thing. There's a whole list. The tie rod end that was on the car originally, this part was just slightly bigger. It wouldn't fit all the way. It would only fit to here. That's as far as it would go. So you can get it to go on here, but you can't get it to go down in and lock this tab in. So I could put this one all the way in. And it's kind of tricky. And me looking right at it, it's tricky. I can put this on. So remember, you're on the outside of the car that way, and the inner part is up next to the rack, and you're having to fiddle with this and try to get this to fall down in here. And with it centered, the axle centered, and this lock ring centered, it just won't go. This piece needs to be ground off, which I'll do. I'll grind it off. But still, there's the problem with that factory axle or factory shaft. This part was too big, even with the plastic taken off. It would not go down in here far enough for this to go in and lock. I fought it. I took it out. Even after I got the tie rod out of the car, I could not get it to go into this tool. Now, that's just a small thing. That's something that could be ground off, that locking ring. But the fact that it wouldn't go in far enough to seat and me twist this lock, it was just impossible. I couldn't do it. And so I wound up going and getting, I don't know where it is right now. I got the original tie rod tool that we used for a Chrysler that we had years ago. And after spending, 50 or 60 bucks on this, I wound up using a tool that I already had. It was just a little clamp. Let me see if I can find it. Now, if I were to get this tool actually on the tie rod, this is the working end of it here, and it's got a 1/2 inch drive welded into the end of it. So you just put your 1/2 inch socket or impact in it, which I don't recommend the impact. I've done just a tiny little bit of impact on it when I thought I had it hooked up. and it was trying to waller it out. So this is thin. Not really thin, it's just soft. And so I just recommend a breaker bar or a big 1/2-inch wrench if you can manage to get this on there. I couldn't even manage to get it on there. Then there's this tool, which I think is like $12. It's just like a muffler clamp. Use a 14mm wrench. It's got teeth on the inside of it. It also has a 3/8 drive hole here that gives you leverage. Now, the only catch to this is you've got to have a pretty long extension or a bunch of 3/8 extensions. So you can put the extension in. And then way out here, way away from the car, you can take a 3/8 drive breaker bar or just a big long ratchet and just snap it, and this will break loose. It doesn't even have to be on the shoulders. It's got teeth all the way around it, so you can put it anywhere on this large part that you want without having to put it on the shoulders. So this makes it a whole lot easier. I already had this. It cost me, what, $12, and this thing here, what I think was around $60 on Scamazon, but I would never recommend this to anybody. There's other brands out there that look exactly like this. Exactly like this tool, and it's nice. These dies are heavy and they feel like hardened steel. I run a file across it, so it's definitely hardened. It's got metric sizes. What have you got? 1 3/16, 1 1/4, 32.5, 1 5/16, 33.6, 1 3/8, 1 7/8, 1.5. Awesome. I mean, it looks like it's awesome. I've seen other people use them on videos, but not very often, and I guess that's why. If you're gonna spend some money, this thing here, this just simple clamp, let me take it off so you can see all it is. This is nothing more than a glorified muffler clamp with a 3/8 hole cut in it, and it's got teeth on the inside and teeth on the back side just a little bit. And it just takes, I didn't even have to really torque it. I just tightened it up a little with a 14mm wrench. I didn't have to torque it down. One quick snap and it snapped that tie rod loose. I've been fiddling with it for well over an hour with this other piece. I brought this other piece back in and tried to bend it and twist it. I even took the lock collar off, and it made it worse taking the lock collar off. Everything just fell off. So maybe a $15 tool, $15 tool, and a long extension. Or this thing for $60 that's supposed to fit anything. Of course, this will open up to any of these sizes. So you're not really gaining anything by having all these different fittings if they don't work. And I managed to get it off and replaced on the car. Got the broken piece out. Got the other one put in. But what have I learned? I'm not going to send this back. I'll keep it around. Maybe I'll find some use for it. One thing I'll probably do is I'll modify this. I will probably, more than likely, take this ring completely off and weld an outer ring on it and make some kind of notch that will lock into this better. That'll be solid. You don't have to spin. You just put it in there and twist it, and it'll come off. I want to get rid of this spring clip altogether because, like I said, it's too long. It's sticking over 1/8 of an inch over here, and it's dead level right there. So if you push this one back to where it's dead level, this side looks like it clears a little bit. But I've also got it spraying. I've got it spread apart in one spot. But this thing, it's just janky. It feels well made. Maybe I'm not doing it right. I don't know. But I struggle with it. And the fact that the biggest thing was the other inner tie rod end would not go all the way down into the barrel of this thing. There was something in there that it's real thick and it needs to be ground down. You can see where I spun it, and it was eating away at that edge trying to get it to go on there and lock. So that needs to be, just a little bit of that inner edge needs to be taken off so it'll go over top of the factory ones. I wish I had that laying around here somewhere. I would show you how it fits. It will not go down in this barrel far enough for me to get the lock ring on. But that's an ABN all body now. I don't know what their thoughts are on this, but it's just another Chinesian product that they throw out there, and it looks like a pro product, but really it's just a copy of a copy of a picture of a copy that somebody thought somebody like me would buy, and I did, because I really wanted a pro tool, because I do this. I'm working on these cars quite a bit, these small front-wheel drive cars. That's the Malibu Max. I've got it torn down. Cut the heads off of it, found a blown head gasket. I just went and took the exhaust manifolds and all off of the heads. I may get it here in a minute, and I'm going to try to go ahead and put the valve seals in while I've got it apart, because they came with the kit anyway. But this is cleaned up here and ready to go. The heads are ready to go back on, or at least ready for the heads. I ain't got the heads ready yet. But this is another project for another video. And this car is also showing, I may have missed it in another video, it's showing a transmission shift controller, 1 and 2 shift. So that's underneath that case. And since I've got this torn down anyway, why not just take that case off and replace the shift solenoids and save myself a little bit of work, because I can get to everything with the top of this motor going. I can reach every bolt. I can reach the sides. I can get to all the motor mounts, because you got to drop the subframe on this one side to get that out. But like I said, that's another video. So that is another, at least I tried it once and wasn't happy. Tested tool review. It never done what I expected it to do, just because the factory, this thing was too big to go in there far enough for me to lock the clip on. Every time I tried it without locking it, it just spun off and fell underneath the car. So I don't recommend it. Maybe there's a better version of it. I know OEM makes one that's green, and it looks exactly like the same tool. Maybe the dimensions are slightly different on the OEM, which is still just another Chinesian product. I don't know if there's a company that even makes an American version of any tool anymore. A lot of stuff you get now comes from Taiwan or China, which Taiwan tools are just fine as far as I'm concerned. I haven't had any trouble with them. Chinese tools, I've broken about every one I've ever picked up. But it's hard to find American. Stanley Pro used to make good American tools. I don't think they were made by Mac, of course, the Stanley Pro stuff, but I don't believe they're made by Mac anymore. I think DeWalt has kind of taken over the Stanley Pro and the Max lines. So you'll get DeWalt stuff, which is definitely Chinesium. Like I said, there used to be lots of Stanley Pro stuff that was made in America just because it's made in the Mac facility. But I don't think you'll find it anymore. Tang Tools is made in Japan. That's really good tools. Snap-on's hit or miss. I've broken probably more Snap-on tools than any other tool. And you can't just take it back to the store and get another one. You got to count on somebody to maybe exchange it or give you your money back. Most of the time they won't. They'll wiggle some way out of it. Everybody claims that they'll treat you right. I've never had one of them tool truck rapists ever treat me right. Now my son uses Matco, and I think we got quite a bit of Mac stuff here, and a lot of Stanley Pro, older Stanley Pro stuff that's all got USA stamped on it. But we've got a little bit of everything. We buy what works. We've got Craftsman. We've got stuff from Harbor Freight. We've got stuff that come off Scamazon, but so far the majority of the stuff that we get from Scamazon is just exactly what it says, Scamazon. It's just junk made to look like a quality tool. It might be heavy in the box, but we've got a few wheel pullers. Best off, if you need something like this that's just cheap, that you're going to throw away, just get this one. I can't complain about this. Every job I've done with this tool, I've got it right off. Never had any issues. I haven't done any. This hasn't done its first car yet that successfully. So, and Harbor Freight sells a lot of these big pieces. Or you can go to one of your parts houses and they will actually rent you this. They call it rent or loan, but what you do is you buy it. And if you don't bring it back, it's yours. But if you do bring it back, they give you a refund. So they call it loan a tool, but you actually have to buy it. But you do get your money back when you get done with it. That's the best way to go. I would recommend that if you're just doing one. Go to the parts house, get a rental, take it back to them when you're done, and they don't ask no questions. If you break it, they don't ask no questions. They have some cheaper made stuff like this. Some of it works, some of it doesn't, but most of the stuff I've rented from the parts houses worked pretty good. I think I may have even rented one of these once, give them like $15 for it. Or this may be the one I rented and I just kept, I'm not sure. But it was worth it. I suggest these. I don't know what brand this is. This is probably an OEM or whatever the parts house had. No stampings on it at all. It's never broken. It might break tomorrow, but beats paying $60 for that. Anyway, that's all I got for you guys. Check out our rest of our videos. Please subscribe. I need subscribers. I can't tell you enough how much I need subscribers. And like the video, help the algorithm, get us put out there in front. The more times you like the video, the better off we are. It really helps. And that's all I got for you guys. This has been another tested tool review. Thanks for watching. Stay clean, everybody.